Welcome to the Dark Horse Paranormal Podcast. How are you guys?
Happy Thirsty Thursday.
Happy Thirsty Thursday, and we got a very special show for you this week. I think you're going to be psyched. I know I am.
I am very psyched.
Some of our favorite peeps of the paranormal are going to be on with us, and we kind of set some things up here. You might notice this little laser thing going on here. A new toy, and I know guys know what these are. Laser grid. And actually I'm going to use that more later, because a little later we're going to try doing a spirit box or ghost box session, and we're going to throw a little sorcery involved because we've got a sorcerer with us.
Yes, we do. Actually,
we do. We have the hosts of the Wizard's Table on with us live, and we love these guys. We've been on their show. They've been on ours. Mistress Bee hasn't been on ours yet. It was just Ken, so we actually got both of them this time. We used a big net, threw it over them, and we kidnapped them, and they're in the next room. Somebody's holding them at gunpoint to be on our show together and do this. And no, not at all. I'm very psyched. So we're going to bring them right on. We're going to talk about the Wizard's Table.
In a second, I just wanted to say thank you to Miss Anne Marie Young, who came down from Virginia, where she lives, and hung out with us last night. And we missed you, girl, and we had such a great time with her.
We had a ball. We were talking about all things shaman, and it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
And we love seeing Anne, so that was great. And thank you for coming by. We really appreciate it. We had a blast with you. So hopefully you're awake. I know you had
a long drive.
Drove back, and we're up in New England, so it's quite a ride back where she lives. So hopefully she's up and running. And I wanted to say that. And I was gonna maybe try something with like the cryptid of the week, but I think we're just gonna forego that this week. If you guys like that, let us know. Tell us in the chat, things you liked. Last week we got a little brave with our movie clip.
Oh yes.
Ezekiel, the speech there by Samuel L. Jackson. Can't do that every week, but it was a lot of fun. Great to see you. Oh yeah, Anne-Marie is out there. Hello, Anne-Marie.
Hi, Anne.
See,
I'm awake, she says.
Mike Bloomfield. Hello, how you doing?
Thank you.
Shared to American Ghosters. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so
much appreciated. Courtney Peterson.
Hi, Courtney.
Hello. And Anne says she's awake. All right, very good. Very good. So are we. Let's bring on our guests. The Wizard's Table podcast, which is on Saturday nights, most Saturdays. And it starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. A very interesting guest, and let's bring them right on. Ken Allen and Mistress Bee.
Welcome.
Hello, guys.
Paranormal Podcast. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Much love to you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. We love being on.
Awesome. Well, you're welcome anytime.
Oh,
it's always an honor to be on Bigfoot and the Bunny. So Bigfoot and the Bunny.
You're actually on the variant. See, people don't know there's a real difference between Bigfoot and the Bunny and Dark Horse Paranormal Podcast, right? So they're one and the same. The truth is, we wanted to have two shows, so we gave it two names.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. That's
there you
cool.
go.
Yeah, we tend to swear more and be more laid back on the Thursday show, which is of course.
That suits me just fine.
Yeah, this is Thirsty Thursday. Like we might have something in the little red cup. Never know. And we have Serious Saturday. Everything's all business. Sometimes I even wear a suit jacket, which is just crazy. But not tonight. I got my Aleister Crowley shirt on for you.
There you go.
Nice.
He's letting the world know what he thinks. And I like the shirt. My daughter gave me this some years ago. And it still fits my fat carcass.
Oh, please. I'm rocking the Evanescence, and Hailstorm, so I'm good.
Hi, Debbie Wallace. How you doing? Hello, Barbara Cole. Barbara Cole Brown. Paranormal Funhouse.
Yeah.
There you go. Love from the Funhouse.
Hello, Brandon.
That's Brandon.
Hello, Mr. Brandon Crotty.
How you doing? That's cool. And my buddy, Steve Allclair. He's out there. Says hello. Steve is a good buddy of mine and a paranormal investigator as well.
Yes, we had him on a couple Thursdays.
I see Jeffrey Tafflin's out there. The goat.
The goat. We're
Hi from the
Jeff.
goat. We missed you, goat.
Yes.
Glad you're back. So, anyways, why don't we start off? We'll talk a little bit about what your show's about and who you are, and we'll go from there.
What you want to know, baby?
Well, what do you talk about on your show?
Oh shit, shit, dude. We don't give a damn. We talk about it all. Paranormal, occult. It doesn't matter. Satanism, theistic Satanism, non-theistic. We don't give a shit. You
cover a lot of topics in the occult and the paranormal,
for sure.
And I love the tie-in. And you're an occultist yourself.
I am,
which is cool, and it's such a wonderful thing to see. You work with Outcast Paranormal. You go on investigations. You bring in a little something.
For sure, yeah. I've been with Outcast for several months actually. And it was cool because they had never employed an occultist before. Also, Brandon Crody from Paranormal in the Funhouse, he recently employed me to do a few things for him. So kudos to both, to Paranormal in the Funhouse and to Outcast for sure.
Oh, that's really cool.
Excellent.
And Ken dragged you along, Mr. Bee. Did he kidnap you?
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
You're coming with me.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it happened.
Telling a story how you were gonna just like do some of the the logos and work on the show, and then
I was just supposed to help him set up, and then a couple days beforehand he was like, "No, you're gonna be my co-host," and I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm gonna what?" Here we are 2 seasons later. He hasn't actually shot me, but he has held me at gunpoint.
They're always blanks.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not going to play that Russian roulette with Ken.
I don't blame you. I'm not sure I would either.
Mr. Bee, could you tell us a little bit about your background and how you started, how you got into this and what you do, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was actually raised really, really Christian. And about the time that I was in, I'd say high school, I started learning about other religions and figuring out what I wanted to believe in and what I wanted to explore. And so I started exploring tarot, and I didn't really get into it until I was in my mid-20s or early 20s, I should say. And then I just kind of dived in with 2 feet, and I'm pretty eclectic. I do a little bit of everything that calls to me. So I've done a little bit of voodoo, a little bit of hoodoo. I've done candle magic. I love tarot and divination and stuff like that. So, and as I work with Ken more and more, I'm getting to do more and more of what Ken does. And so eventually we'll summon something together, but we'll see how that goes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
He's rubbing off on you.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
He's a good mentor.
Tinka says hi from Australia. Awesome. Good. Nice to reach people all the way over in Australia. My God, it's tomorrow over there. I think it's like 14 hours ahead of Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So that's really cool. And you like the tarot. Do you have a particular deck you really enjoy? Do you feel drawn to certain decks? I know there's a lot of, talk about the different decks and what it means to get one.
I use different decks for different things. My original is a tarot done by Line Strider, and it's watercolor, and it's gorgeous, and it's my most honest deck. But I just kind of pick decks based on what's drawn to me. I don't believe you have to be gifted your first deck, because if you're gifted a deck, it carries somebody else's energy, and you have to clear it, and it's a whole big deal. You might as well just buy it for yourself, get to know it, and play with it a little bit. I've only found one deck that will not work with me. Every time I do a reading, it just shuts down, and it'll cough up utter nonsense, and it won't want to work with me. And I interviewed it, and it said it did not like me, so I'm going to give it to Ken.
Oh, there you go.
See if you can cleanse that thing. It sounds like it's haunted by a malicious spirit. Doesn't want you to know.
And see, that's the thing. She's going to give it to me. I'm not cleansing it. I'll just use it the way it is, for sure. Because I want to know. I want to know what's attached to it.
Yeah.
I've cleansed it. I've slept with it underneath my pillow. I've carried it around in my purse, because that's something that you can do to help kind of attune it to your energy. Nothing has worked.
Sure.
Wow.
Fascinating.
Well, there goes your set of cards coming there.
Yeah.
And Ken, I noticed you. We were talking earlier before the show, and you mentioned you've been reading up again, going back to the Satanic Bible. I think you wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. And me and Mistress Bee, we did a show on our podcast, episode 9, I believe it was, where we read a little bit out of the Satanic Bible. We read the 9 satanic virtues, and it went over really well. And Bee she's extremely intellectual, highly intellectual, actually. And her interpretation of the 9 satanic virtues is spot on, 100% spot on. And that's something that I would like to possibly do tonight.
Well, feel free. You are our guest.
Yes.
Mikasa Sukasa, Ken.
Don't say that. You don't know what you're getting when you say that.
Just point me in the direction of the refrigerator.
That fridge will be empty fast.
Pretty soon, because you're supposed to be coming up here in October, so it is like, Mikasa
Possibly, May.
In May. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Cool beans.
I'll make sure I go shopping.
Yeah.
Lots of seafood.
Excellent.
Oh yeah. Rhodon's got the good seafood. We got a lot over here.
I need some chowder.
Chowder, baby.
Oh yeah. Have to have the clam cakes to go with that chowder.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you guys want to do it, me and Mistress B, we'll do our thing, baby.
All right, on.
All right, the Satanic Bible, written by Anton Szandor LaVey, the founder of the Satanic Church of San Francisco in 1966. So what I'd like to do is read the 9 satanic statements, And real quick, this symbol you see right here, that is, in fact, the alchemical symbol for sulfur. The Satanic Church has actually adopted that to be the Satanic Cross. Also, Dave Navarro from the Red Hot Chili Peppers has it tattooed right here.
Yeah, in Jane's Addiction. I like it. I love his work in Jane's Addiction.
So there's only 9, but
have that tattooed as well.
It's a beautiful tattoo.
Yeah, that'd
actually
be awesome.
It's a very cool figure. And I know a lot of people have misconceptions about Satanism in general. And when we're talking about the Satanic Bible, we're talking about more of like a philosophical Satanism.
It's a philosophy. It's definitely not. At least LaVey Satanism it's a philosophy. It's not a religion, and it's non-theistic Satanism. So, but I agree with like
anything.
Gil
exactly.
Tugs, Gil. We got to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Worship yourself. Hail thyself is what this is all about, and it's the thing is, I mean, it again, non-theistic Satanism, a philosophy. Hail thyself, become your own God, be your own God. So, I believe in like 85 to 90% of what's written in this book, as far as the philosophical teachings. It makes sense. I don't give a shit who you are, baby. So, but I'll go ahead and start if you guys want to.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Please.
All right. So the 9 satanic statements. Number 1, Satan represents indulgence instead of abstinence. Right?
Yeah, Satan. It's all about like doing what you want to do when you want to do it, because most monotheistic religions are all about like what you can't do. It's don't do this, don't do that. I mean, if you look at the 10 Commandments, it's a lot of don'ts instead of a lot of do's, So I think that this is kind of the exact opposite. It's do what you want when you want, indulge yourself, live your life, just go try things. I said the other night, sleep with a man, sleep with a woman, sleep with whoever you want, sleep with both at the same time. You never know until you try.
There you go.
It's not against the law.
Nope.
Live life.
Yeah. Well, the commandments, the commandments tell you everything you can't do. Kind of like a lot of the laws in the United States tell you that there's more laws telling you what you can't do than what you can do. So, and it's becoming worse and worse every day. Not to get political, but that's the fucking truth, y'all.
Yeah.
It is.
I think as long as it doesn't harm anybody, just go for it.
Exactly. If you're 2 consenting adults, do whatever you want. If it's sex, magic, and bloodletting, cut each other up, baby. All right, number two. Number two of the 9 satanic statements from the Satanic Bible. Number 2, Satan represents vital existence instead of spiritual pipe dreams. Y'all.
Basically, what this means is to live your life while you're actually living. You only get one chance to live the life that you live in this physical plane, in this dimension, whatever you want to call it. So live your life for what it is instead of waiting for the day that you die and get to go to heaven and then you have everything perfect. Like, you're going to miss out on so much while you're here. It's not going to be the same if there is a heaven. It's not. You're going to miss stuff like, the ocean and getting to fall down and scrape your knee and all of those little things that you just take for granted. So you might as well just do it while you're here. Plus, you can't do anything life-threatening and fun up there. Like, I'm sure that you can fly, but it's not going to be the same as skydiving where you might die.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah, baby.
Like that.
All right. Number 3. Satan represents undefiled wisdom instead of hypocritical self-deceit.
This one is one that I really like. Basically, it means to learn all that you can, and knowledge is power. And I think that in a lot of churches, knowledge is kind of the enemy. There's a really great story about the Tower of Babel, when people got together and tried to build a tower to God, and to punish them and to make sure that they didn't get too close, God separated everybody and made them speak different languages so they couldn't communicate. And it's wisdom and power is what he was afraid of. So go out and find that wisdom and find your own power and enjoy in it, revel in it. Like Ken said, become your own God.
Amen.
Excellent.
That's it. I believe that too. We are our own gods. Totally agree with that. I think, a lot of times I think we're maybe a fractal of what source is, and source being like this one, just the combination of all consciousness. Not a man in a cloud in the sky.
Yeah,
Sure.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, let's move to number 4 then. Number 4, Satan represents kindness to those who deserve it instead of love wasted on ingrates.
I think this one is my favorite one because I'm a decently violent person. I'm a middle child, so we got a lot of strife to go through. But I like this one because I don't think that everybody automatically deserves kindness and respect. Of course, I treat people with kindness and respect until they prove to me that they aren't worth my time. And I'm not going to waste my time on anybody that doesn't deserve it. And this is saying the same thing. The Bible says, love everyone as your neighbor. But there are some people that I don't think deserve that love from somebody so special.
That's just not a reality. That's just...
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody does that shit.
Like lawyers and politicians.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And reptilians.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
there you go.
The Pleiadians might be okay though. Jury's out.
Supposedly they are, yeah.
Nords and the tall whites.
All right, number 5 of the 9 satanic statements. Number 5 says, Satan represents vengeance instead of turning the other cheek. Baby.
I like this one a lot too. Some bitches need to be punched in the throat. That's just
Amen.
how it goes.
Amen, honey.
Oh, I love that one. I
Fuck
think that's my favorite yet.
There
Yeah,
really
they-
is no other choice sometimes. I mean,
But we know
that's the one thing that I love about being eclectic and being a little bit darker in my craft is because, I'm not afraid to curse somebody if need be.
Yeah, no, we
Oh,
agree with you
agree.
wholeheartedly. There's only so much a person can take, and you shouldn't sit there and have your life, for lack of a better term, fucked up by some other individual. It just happens to be messed in the head, right?
yeah, psychotic.
Absolutely.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
All right, and number 6. Satan represents responsibility to the responsible instead of concern for psychic vampires.
Ah, yes,
Yes.
the psychic vampires.
Vampires.
Maybe we can talk a little bit about that. What is your impression of what a psychic vampire is?
Basically,
Well-
a lot of people who can't help themselves. If you're constantly worried about helping others and changing others and being responsible for other people and taking care of other people. Like, charity is great and that's all, but there are certain people, I say everybody needs to hit their own rock bottom. And until you hit your own rock bottom, you're not going to be able to grow and change and evolve. And if you're so constantly stressing yourself out trying to help people that don't want to be helped, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Nope, and you can drown.
Yep. Yes, you can. Absolutely. That's where that vengeance comes in.
Nice.
Emery Young says, "Can't heal if you can't curse." And
Absolutely, 100%.
right?
Amen
If you
to
don't
that.
have evil, or what you at least interpret as bad, how do you know what's good?
That's right.
Yeah. Mama Cat 1969 says, I think they respect you in your space, then you don't have to. If
Yeah,
bugging it. I think they can't respect you in your space, then you don't have respect or have to like them either. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you for your comments. Appreciate it.
Okay, next one.
All right, number 7 of the 9 satanic statements says Satan represents man as just another animal, sometimes better, more often worse than those that walk on all fours, who, because of his divine, spiritual, and intellectual development, has become the most vicious animal of all.
Yeah, I think that people forget that when you break it down at the end of the day, we are just animals. And yeah, we have thumbs and we have complex emotions and we communicate in, a very distinct way and are able to communicate with each other. But we are just animals. And I think that the things that set us apart from the animal kingdom also give us the power to be incredibly, incredibly cruel towards each other.
Absolutely.
I think it's really like a level of consciousness and having the tools to utilize them. And I don't think, while we seem like we're kings of our planet, in a certain way we are, I don't think we truly are. I think there are greater consciousness out there. There are things like we've talked about, angels and demons and aliens. And it just seems to me everything in our environment has some level of consciousness. We talk about the trees a lot.
Yes.
And trees have consciousness and they're much more aware than we think. Now, they're not like you or I. They're not, I think I use that thing saying, "Hey, there you go, Kristen. Can you please tell the bird to get off my branch?" It doesn't talk to you, but it is aware of other trees and knows its offspring. Mm-hmm. It does this through communicating with nature and through the mycelium in the ground and this sort of thing, which just shows you everything has a consciousness. Certainly our pets or cats, And
then you want to, like you call animism as well. It's different.
Yes.
That's where they have more of a spirit. Right. So
that would be like a haunted doll. Right?
Yeah. Well, the panpsychism kind of does that. Yeah. Where spirit goes within it. I guess so. Yeah. That does make sense. Right. And animism is more like the indigenous cultures and in shamanic cultures. That was what their religion was revolving around. And that's where they said there's a spirit of the wind and there's a
spirit of the trees,
spirit of the trees and that sort of thing. But it was like a whole soul. And I feel like this soul thing might even be overrated. It's like levels of consciousness. That's where I'm going in my thinking. And I think it does persist after death. And we're going to try to find that out a little bit later. I see Mistress Bee might have dropped off.
Yeah,
for a second. See if she can.
She'll probably be back on in a minute. But with regards to animism, I mean, every culture at its dawning was animistic and shamanic. And hell, let's go back prior to the Viking Age. Everybody wants to concentrate on the Viking Age, but the heathens, which is the which is the Northern European equivalent for pagan, which is the Southern, So they even their weapons after they used their weapons for a certain amount of time, their weapons would take on a type of spirit. Again, it's animistic. Their swords, their daggers, even their shields and their armor was very animistic. It would take on a spirit of its own. That's why they would give that shit names, y'all.
Heck yeah.
Right. And it's kind of an energy in doing that, right? Recognizing it. One of the things I do that's odd, if I remember to do it, I keep trying to make a habit and I fall out of it, is kind of thanking the animals that I consume. So if I got a plate of food, I kind of look at that, cheeseburger on there, and in my mind, I just kind of mentally say, "Thank you, cow." Be grateful that, this animal has given its life. And I swear the food tastes better. I feel better about eating it. Not that I have a huge guilt complex about, being a carnivore or anything like that. Although, we were vegan for one hot minute.
We were vegan, I think, for 4 days. And I mean, we couldn't take it anymore.
Really? Just 4 days?
That was it. It was all we could do was 4 days. Like, I'm dying for like a McChicken or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really start to miss that stuff.
Yeah. Sorry to all you vegans out there. And
No, I think it's wonderful.
It's great.
My sister's vegan. I would love to be vegan and leave those animals alone, but I think the plants have consciousness as well.
I mean, if you can be a vegan, if you can do that shit, then kudos to you, baby. But I got to have some meat, y'all, and I ain't. Never mind.
Oh man,
you are talking about that, and you know it.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. About 11 inches, a little bit. Okay. I'm being bad. All right.
Okay.
Feel free.
Yep.
Where we at? Yeah, we did. We did. All right. Number nine. Satan has been the best friend the church has ever had, as he has kept it in business all these years. And that is the truth, baby.
That's right.
Absolutely. They say all publicity is good publicity, and he's getting the church publicity. Everybody's so afraid of Satan and so afraid of going to hell.
Yeah, and if there's no devil, what do you need God for, right?
Absolutely. You got to have a bad guy to have a good guy.
Got some comments out here. My buddy Steve says, the last words of Anton LaVey, oh my, what have I done? There's something very wrong. There's something very wrong. There's something very wrong.
That's a big misconception.
I wasn't familiar with that. I haven't heard that before.
Yep. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but that's a big misconception.
So it's not true.
No, it's not true.
Greg Costas, good evening, Kristen and Chris. Hi, Mr. Steve Ken.
Hey,
hello.
there.
Hello.
So there we go. So
now I'm thumbing through the book, what's called the Book of Satan.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of interesting things in the Book of Satan. I just had one here. Okay, in the Book of Satan, chapter 1, number 7 says, "He that is slow to believe anything and everything is of great understanding, for belief in one false principle is the beginning of all unwisdom." Yeah.
I think that's really key to today's day and age, where we're just so inundated with media that if you believe, what your friend says and take it as absolute truth, you're going to be stuck in this sort of like thought loop of what your friends think and what media portrays and stuff like that. For some things, you just got to do your own research and take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah, certainly in this age of disinformation, which was the information age, but now I would call it the disinformation age. It's used for political motivations. It's used to herd the sheep, and it's certainly used to get us to buy products.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Commercialism at its finest.
Mm-hmm.
They say the internet's dead now in a lot of ways because everything has just been so commercialized.
Yeah, it's crazy that you can talk about something and then your phone a couple minutes later will show you an ad for it. It's getting scary.
It is.
Honestly, I say one thing or my son will say something and the next thing I know, it's on my phone for an ad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can search it. They're listening.
I'm familiar with what metadata is, and the laws changed to allow metadata to be used, and now our searches to be shared. And boy, everybody got paid to do that in Congress, both sides of the aisle for that one. Thanks, guys. That's why we to screw up our. Yeah, so you look up. I've looked at that bill and who got paid what. It's astonishing. They basically allowed whatever your internet service provider is to sell your searches. So everybody knows I've been looking at Pornhub apparently.
I've never done that in my life.
Oh, okay, sure can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. What does that mean?
It's a social media site.
Greg Koss said, if I went vegan for 4 days, the squirrels would start to look good to him.
Yeah, they do.
Apparently, squirrel is actually delicious, so he's not wrong.
Yeah, I've seen things on that YouTube.
Okay.
Squirrel is good. I've ate it.
Shit, actions tell all. I agree. Got a hello out there from, it looks like a Twitch audience person. Hey, Denise.
Hello, Denise. Hey, baby.
Joanne says, if you have a chance, watch Facebook Blower.
Interesting.
Was that from Pornhub?
Yeah, it's just
Hey, Pornhub ain't the only one, y'all. Hey, ain't Pornhub based out of Canada? I don't really know anything about it. But
Are they?
I don't know. Canadians got a lot going on.
I think they are. Oh, okay. All right. The Book of Satan, chapter 3, number 7 says, if y'all are ready, it says, hate. Okay. It says, hate your enemies with a whole heart. And if a man smite you on the cheek, smash him on the other, smite him hip and thigh, for self-preservation is the highest law. Of course it is.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're the only one on your team. Like, you have people around you that you love and that would support you, but at the end of the day, even if you're with somebody, it's your head hitting your pillow and you're the one on your team. So you got to keep your guard up.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Great.
true.
And I'm going to skip 7 and I'm going to go to 9. I'm going to go to 9. This again is the Book of Satan. Chapter 3, number 9 says, give blow for blow, scorn for scorn, doom for doom. With compound. Go ahead, baby.
That's one of the things that I really like about this theology is that it's logical. It's about balance. It's about like doing what you want to do and keeping the world kind of at peace. Because you got to think, if we just solved our issues just as they came up, let them go and continue to do what we wanted to do, I think the world would be a better place.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Right. Well, you gotta look out for yourself. I don't think there's anything wrong with charity. I think that's all good, but we can get caught up in the lives of other people and our jobs and whatever we're doing, even our hobbies, and lose ourselves in those things. And you got to treat yourself good. Got to be good.
I mean, look at social media. Everybody is so concerned with what everybody else is doing. Like, focus on you and what you want to do and your goals. Put your nose to the grindstone and hustle a little bit.
Right. Look at the role of an Instagram influencer, for example.
Oh, I'm so sickened that that's a job now.
Right.
It's a real thing. Like, you could have that as a job title. And, some of these people are hurting the self-images of our children. It's not that the stuff didn't really exist before. It did, just different forms.
It's easier.
But yeah, it's just everything's so easy to click and wow.
Yeah, and it's more in your face now because there used to be influential people, but you could avoid it if you didn't buy trashy magazines and you didn't watch the latest shows or like the morning talk shows where they were all on. But now it's on this tiny computer that's in your pocket all the time and you can't get away from it.
Right. It's a time you could just chosen Hustler over Cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The only reason, okay, I'll be honest. The only reason
after the show, I think
the only reason I bought Hustler back in the 90s is because it had men in it too.
There you go. Yeah.
Just being honest. That way nobody would know, All right. Okay. The Book of Satan. I'm going to read one more, and then I know you guys want to do some sorcery, baby. But the Book of Satan. Chapter 4, number 3, Book of Satan says, say unto thine own heart, I am my own redeemer. I am my own redeemer. So it goes back to being your own God, hail thyself, etc., doesn't it, Mistress Bee?
It does, and it speaks a lot of healing from the inside out. You know, you have to save yourself. RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? And to a point, I think that that's true. If you make sure that your stuff is in order, make sure that you find your own self-worth and self-esteem, then you're going to be a better person for other people.
I couldn't agree more. That's fantastic advice. And something the Bible actually, does state a lot. It's like, if you believe in any other God, you are screwed. There's a firstborn son. Israelites really, they got a real bad deal from those angels. Like, to me, that's pretty evil. You know what I mean? Like, who really cares who you worship? You want to worship a false idol? Well, hey, all right. If I
really don't think it matters that much, I don't at the end of the day. In fact,
that comes with it is just like, it's astounding.
Of course.
Things. Like the Ezekiel that Samuel Jackson pointed out there, with a little bit of passion in Pulp Fiction. I mean, look at what he does, that's what he's saying. I will strike my brother down.
A lot of F words.
Yeah.
Why didn't you like that?
Look at the big brain on Brad.
Samuel Jackson. You know what? I'm going to read another one.
Sure.
Again, Satanic Bible, Anton Zandor LaVey, Book of Satan, chapter 5, number 10 says, "Blessed is the man who has a sprinkling of enemies, for they shall make him a hero. Cursed is he who doth good unto others, who sneer upon him in return, for he shall be despised."
Yeah, I mean, it's true. You don't make yourself a doormat. If you open yourself up to getting walked on all over, if you're too much of a giver and you don't set boundaries, this is something that I've had to learn in my own life, especially as an empath. You got to set your own boundaries or people are just going to walk all over you. And at the end of the day, you're going to be a laughing stock, because sometimes kindness doesn't win in the hearts of evil people.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Now, what you mentioned that, there are two kinds of Satanism at the front of the show. There's also the theistic Satanism. Yeah. And what is that?
Well, theistic Satanism is the belief in the actual entity called Satan and the worship of said entity. So, whereas non-theistic or LaVeyan Satanism, they don't really believe in Satan, but they believe in what he represents.
Right. It's more of a philosophy.
It's more of a philosophy, yeah.
Atheism in a lot of ways, and it's often compared to atheism, where theistic Satanism is more like getting down and dirty with the demons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's live your best hedonistic life.
Mm-hmm. And I personally, I don't give a shit what anybody worships or what anybody does. I don't care. If it fulfills you on some sort of spiritual or even physical level, as long as you are not harming anyone, rock it out, baby. Do your thing.
Right. And I know a lot of people's impression of magicians, sorcerers, is that they're out to harm people or something like. But that's not really true. I've found that most magicians that I've met, and I know on my own magical path work that I've done, it's usually about self-improvement.
Yes.
For a minute, B.
Self-improvement, spiritual transcendence, et cetera, et cetera.
Et cetera. It's usually,
but even in the left-hand path, even in if you practice and follow a more of a black magic philosophy, there is a transcendence there as well.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of magic is done in shadow work, and they call it that. It's getting to know your dark side and getting to be comfortable with that and getting through some of your personal hangups. And I think that if you work in the shadows, it can be just as powerful and just as healing as working light.
Yeah.
We definitely believe that. We were just talking about that last night with Anne-Marie Young.
That's right. Self-empowerment. Yep. Mama Cat says self-enlightenment.
Self-enlightenment. Absolutely.
Sure. And that is kind of the truth. People are just trying to improve themselves a lot of times. That you talk to, it's not all like, I'm going to kill people and curse them all. And
yeah. I mean, look, I admit I have done curses. I've done some pretty fucking bad ones, y'all. but I do not do them just on a whim because somebody cuts me off in traffic, somebody shoots me a bird, or somebody talks to me like I'm a piece of trash. I'm going to tell you something. There is and I'm not going to say his name, but there is everybody would know this guy if I said his name, a very, very well-known paranormal investigator. And no, I'm not talking about Zach Bagans, but a very well-known paranormal investigator who talked to me on Facebook Messenger like I was a piece of trash. I was so fucking angry, Chris. I was so mad. I was boiling the way he talked down to me, but I didn't do it. I just didn't do it. Oh, it crossed my mind. Oh, it crossed my mind, baby.
It sounds like the thought went through your head, though.
Yeah, of course it did. But it takes a lot. You really have to be coming at me or coming at especially my son or my husband or any of my family members for me to throw this specific curse out. And this specific curse that I created, I am actually considering publishing it. The only thing that's stopping me from publishing it is its intensity. It's a horrendous curse.
Oh,
I have read it and I almost used it, and I got to the point where this person who I almost cursed, she definitely deserved it and still deserves it and is even more deserving of it now, I would say, but I still haven't used it because I don't know if I'm ready to go that far. Like, I don't know if it's that serious quite yet.
Because it is a very bad curse. It's very intense. It will destroy, and that's what it's meant to do.
Oh, maybe I'll borrow that from you. We got we got a list. I study with. I was telling you, Sorceress Cagliostro. I don't know, for a couple of years, and actually, I'm hoping to get her on the show as well. She's pretty cool, you know, with Left Hand Path stuff. And one of the things I really liked, and I think you'll appreciate as well, is her idea of protection and self-protection was really destroying the enemy. Like the real best way to protect yourself is to like fuck their world up, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the word is protection, but it's like, hey, this is what you got to do. It's not a magical wall where you can't cross it. No, it's like, okay, let's go.
The best defense is a good offense.
That's right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I like that. Well put.
Put up your wards, baby. I mean, I got my house, my land, my house is surrounded by very powerful wards, so that's a good way to start. So
excellent.
Hello, Ghost House Paranormal.
You got enough smoke. Yeah, Ghost House Paranormal. Marianne Clark, how you doing? Nice to see you out there. Joanne says, and what would be the results if it rebounds? Okay, what about the rebound? Yes. And also, let's talk a little bit about karma, because that's a thing that comes up all the time.
Yeah, that's a big thing in like most of your, and Mistress Bee, I'm sure will help me out with this if I don't have the whatever to convey the shit. But that's a big thing in organized religions of across the board, and especially Wicca. With regards to Left Hand Path, what I do as a occultist, more specifically as a sorcerer, we don't really believe in that whole threefold law or rebounding shit. If we are justified, and we know we are justified, the curse is going to take place, and there's no issue of a rebound. It is what it is. It's going to happen. Fuck them.
Yeah, and the worst that happens is that it won't work, and that's kind of when you know that it's not really justified, or whoever you're dealing with is too powerful to be messed with. It's not going to go back on you, and there are things in place to make sure that that doesn't happen. Like Ken said, his property is warded, and you set yourself up when you cast to protect yourself as well. But the whole rule of three and karma and rebounding isn't really a belief here. I think that the whole point of LHP is to make sure that you're in charge of your own destiny, whether it be positive, negative, or indifferent.
Right. I agree with that. I think it's the witch's reed, they call it.
Yeah, it's the witch's reed, or the threefold law. But yeah, I mean that's and even in hoodoo folk magic, and hoodoo folk magic is very biblical based. The Psalms are used in hoodoo folk magic by a lot of your Protestants, some Catholics. With Catholic folk magic, but most hoodoo is a Protestant-based type of magic, and there are psalms in the Bible that's used for cursing and for killing people. That's a fact. That's true. If you don't believe it, do your damn research and find it out. Hoodoo folk magic, they use psalms to curse and to kill people. in hoodoo folk magic, there is no belief in anything rebounding, no threefold, no karma, blah, 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 blah. That's a new age concept that Wicca has adopted. In fact, even Gerald Gardner didn't believe in that shit. He wrote about that shit in a fictional book, and everybody was on board with that shit. Gerald Gardner didn't really believe in any kind of threefold bullshit.
Founder of Gardenian witchcraft. Yeah. No, which was a big trend. Same with like Alex Sanders, another guy.
Did you fix that? I mean, thanks.
I just blind you. I got reading glasses on and just made it like times 20.
Dude, you already blinded one eye. I don't need the other one gone.
We'll just keep that back there for our shadowy friends.
So Marianne Clark said she's starting to read up on white and black magic.
Excellent. Do that.
Yeah, you should be aware of everything, I think. Nothing wrong with that. It's nothing like you can't learn from witchcraft either. You certainly can. It's not like those things don't work. I mean, all of it works. It's all about intentions at the end of the day anyways. For the most part, I believe, or the use of discarnate spirits or other entities, that they can have a will of their own. That's the next level.
It's kind of like thinking on the fly. Like, I can't remember his name right now, but I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. MacGyver. Like, if you don't have the right tool for it, find the right tool. It might be a gum wrapper and a paper clip and a quarter that you need instead of a screwdriver. But if it works, it works. And I think that, yeah, exactly. And that's why I classify myself as eclectic, because I'm going to pull from what I need from, as long as it's not a closed practice, I do so with respect, but pull from what I need from, pull from different sources and, use different entities to get the job done.
That's exactly what I do as well. I'm eclectic.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you define yourself as eclectic.
Yeah, and me as a chaos magician, chaos magic being my foundation, there's a lot of paradigm shifting involved, reverse engineering magic and shit like that. That's why if a house is haunted by a very, very powerful, malevolent entity, be it human or non-human or whatever, a lot of times we are called upon to come in there and handle that shit, because the spirits can't handle the shit we can dish out. And I'm not being egotistical or big-headed. I'm just being honest. That's just the way it works. Even Amy Allen from the Dead Files, she made recommendation a few times actually to a couple who was having some issues with some very powerful and demented spirits, that she was like, hey, you need a chaos magician up in this mug.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a cool story. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either. At least she knew, though. She had the sense to know.
Let's see. Steve says, what's some stuff that you think happens in the house because of your philosophy? Something happens.
I mean, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking here, but I think as far as like negative effects from the type of work that we do, there really aren't any, because you keep everything safe and controlled. It's just like cooking. You're not going to walk away from something when you're cooking and burn your house down. You have to keep an eye on it. And Ken's really, really good at keeping an eye on it. And he has a djinn on his side to step in when he needs. So he's well protected.
Yeah. I mean, I work with demons a lot, a hell of a lot. I do work with demons, and I invoke them sometimes right here in my home, in the office that I'm doing the podcast in, which is a little cramped.
Nobody tell Kevin.
Which is a little cramped until I move into my new one. Anyway, so yeah, they know don't come unless called upon. But I have guardian demons. Orobos, Stolos, Bune, just to name a few, Bjor, a healing demon. And of course, I have a guardian djinn who's been with me since I was just a child. So we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, you're taking precautions, just going nilly, dabbling. And, people use that all the time. Oh, dabblers.
Right.
And there is some truth to that. Like, you have to be careful.
Pay attention. And
you can haunt your own house.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look,
Okay.
Even for a lot of paranormal investigators, just using a digital recorder. Is anyone there? What's your name? Is anyone there? Is anyone there? In your own home, That is a type of necromancy. You are trying to facilitate communication with the dead. And guess what? They will and can answer you.
Yes, they will. It's just like playing with the Ouija board. It's the same exact thing.
They're all
Pendulum,
the same. And it's
anything.
You're all asking the dead to do something. You're asking something that has passed on, lives in the afterlife, is a discarnate spirit to do something for you. I mean, you're telling it to speak into that box that is necromancy. And I say that often. I believe that. Some people get offended by that.
Yeah, it's the truth, though, Chris. I mean, obviously, you know. I mean, you're enlightened enough to know. It's necromancy.
Exactly.
Soft necromancy, but necromancy nonetheless.
That's
right. No, it's not corporeal necromancy, which would be the idea of, putting a spirit back in a dead body and reanimating.
Right. Yeah.
It's a bit deeper than, using the Ouija board, but, people do that too. So we do have some fun toys. I hope you guys are up for a session, and I decided to throw a little sorcery in here. I told Kristen, so we're interviewing a sorcerer. I got to do a little sorcery.
Said absolutely.
So let's
do this.
Get some things connected to make that happen. But I think the folks out in the audience would probably like to hear a spirit box session, a ghost box session. Oh, it looks like my second camera dropped. Oh, it died.
Let me know when you're going to start, and I'll mute my mic.
We might have to wait a little longer. That was my second camera. I do want to show you what we got going on. So
I have no phones with me. So.
You have no phones with you?
No.
Oh, well, talk to Ken and Mistress Bee for a moment. I'm just going to grab my charger.
Okie dokie.
Right back.
Hi, Kristen.
Hello. How are you? I'm just looking at the comments here.
Sexy. That's how I am.
Yes, you are. Not as sexy as Mistress Bee.
That's true.
That's true.
So
that's true.
We've had a couple of questions here, but so you don't believe in karma at all? Like do you at all, Mistress Bee? There's no karma for you?
For me, it's more about logic and balance. I believe that there's balance, and it's logical for there to be balance. I believe that you get what you put out, and sometimes when you're putting out negative, it has positive intentions. So it's all about the intentions behind it. If you're trying to even the score, even if it's in a negative way, it still ends up even. Two negatives multiplied to a positive.
Mm-hmm.
Even it up.
We're in Joanne Stewart. What state you're in? We're in Florida, y'all.
Yes,
me and Mistress Bee. We're all the way in the south, y'all.
That's awesome. I see a comment out here. Marion Clark says, so I have a paranormal team, and I also use mediumship and other things to see beyond to help me find missing people, which I did help recover a 13-year-old girl from a different state. All the information that I gathered from my picture reading, bring this child home alive. Nice. And there you go. See, so, mediumship isn't a real thing to us as well. So I think that's really cool. Anne-Marie Young says, Mrs. B is the bomb.
Yes, she is.
Oh, you're the bomb, Anne-Marie. Thank you.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
And she asked, you guys are safe from the tornadoes. That's right. We've got some tornadoes. I know I went touched down in New Orleans the other day. Did some real damage. That's a spooky thing. I'll tell you what, tornadoes scare the crap out of me. I can never.
Me too. I can deal with hurricanes all day long. It doesn't matter. With tornadoes, that's an issue for me. I don't really like them. But fortunately, where I live, I look at the land. I look at the oak trees that I have out here. I look at the tops of them. I look at the soil. This is not a tornado alley. These oak trees have been here for at least 500 years. I've got some big oaks on my property. Wow. So no tornado threats here.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they're just one of the scariest things, just seeing the cyclone and the silhouette in the sky. These guys that chase them around, I think are out of their minds.
And the noise
is, right. That
it's awful.
Sky turns a funny color green. Ugh. But them and scorpions. So I think scorpions, fuck scorpions. Okay, that's where I'm at. Scorpions and tornado kiss my ass. A tornado of scorpions would be my worst nightmare.
It's like Sharknado.
That sounds like a sci-fi movie original.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're making
Scorpionado or some shit like that.
Yes.
Right? I'm scared of the little bastards that go like in people's shoes. Like, I don't know how, you put on your boot and there's a freaking scorpion in there.
Well, I can honestly say where I live, and I don't know, Mistress Bee lives about 2 hours from me.
Yeah, about 2 hours.
Yeah, I can honestly say I have never seen a scorpion here in North Florida. And I've been here since 1989.
I didn't
Plenty of banana spiders. We get a lot of snakes, poisonous snakes too. Even on our property, you have to walk around with a big gun in your pocket, which I don't mind a bit.
Absolutely. I keep my 357 on me when I go to the woods, baby.
Excellent.
I carry my judge around.
Thank goodness. My mom lives at Daytona Beach, and she was telling me they were having tornado warnings posted up all day. I don't know. I haven't got a hold of her since, so I hope she's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, she'll be okay.
Yeah.
Another question out there. Marion Clark had, how do I consider this into my paranormal work? So, as the role of an occultist, maybe you could tell us how you work that into working with Outcast Paranormal.
Which part, baby?
Just being into the occult, using magic, sorcery.
Well, I mean, for Outcast Paranormal, excuse me, most of what they do is they use scientific methods, but they want someone who doesn't just study the paranormal. As occultists, me and Mistress Bee, we are the paranormal, and that's what they want.
Yeah, I think that it's essentially a new set of tools, just the same way that the spirit box is and any and all of the tools that they use. This is just a deeper understanding of tools. It's like, instead of getting an interpreter, find somebody that speaks the language.
Well said, baby.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I think psychic abilities and magical abilities, if you will, I think they're very much related. All these things all help us tune into what might be occurring in the house, if it is truly paranormal, or if it isn't. You could be talking to a homeowner that's claiming it, trying to get attention or something like that, and just see
I've been in those situations before, and you have to be careful, especially if you go to a residence. For God's sake, paranormal investigators, don't go to a residence by yourself, because you could get yourself in a situation where you're putting lotion in the bucket.
That's funny, and that is true. That is true. Don't go by yourself, and always be respectful if you do go.
Most definitely.
It's another thing that investigators need to know.
Oh, and real quick, with Outcast Paranormal, we got a movie coming out pretty soon. Hopefully, pretty soon. Major production, really good shit. I'm actually in the movie. I'm not in there very lengthy, but I'm in there actually invoking a Lucifer. So, things like that.
Yes.
Other than just relying on, scientific equipment, they want to get somebody in there who practices magic, who practices witchcraft, who practices sorcery, whatever the hell you want to call it. So
that's it.
I think that's
baby.
Awesome. Forward to seeing that. I know I saw some of the pictures from that, and it's pretty intense stuff.
Yes.
Mama Cat says, Ken and Mr. Speed, can you help you identify and give name to a demon or powerful entity that might be causing problems? So would you be able to identify a particular...
I'm sure we could. Yeah. I'm sure we could.
Do you think that sometimes I know we've talked about this before, about the idea of roles, and I think sometimes some of the demons that we do see or hear about in these paranormal investigations aren't really demons at all, but something kind of stepping into the role of it or trying to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Sometimes a human spirit, especially if they've been dead a long time, or depending on how just fucked up they were in life, they're going to be the same way in death, and they take on this demented and evil persona more so in death than they did in life, and they gain a lot of power. They do gain a lot of power, and they can pose as demonic entities. But as we've talked in the past here on you guys' podcast, as I have talked in the past, most demons are in fact ancient, powerful gods who date back to ancient Samaria that were demonized by organized religion. Most demons are ancient gods. But yes, even human spirits will pretend to be demons when in fact they are not. It's bullshit. I've ran into that shit a lot. You know, people call me, oh my God, there's a demon in my house, whatever. Come to find out it's an old ass pipe smoking man who's just mad as hell and up on his ass because y'all are living there.
Right.
Yeah.
Negative as hell because, you know, like you said, it comes back. They come back sometimes and they're a little bit more powerful and they're pissed because they're pissed off.
Right.
So
Yeah, because you're in their house now. That was their door. I mean, I'd be the same way. I've made a pact with myself that here on my land and on my property, I'm going to stay on this motherfucker for 150 years.
there you go.
That's pretty good.
And I'm going to just slap the shit out of people who come up in here trying to take over and shit.
Right.
And I'm going to tell them, I'm going to make them think I'm a demon.
There you go.
That's what it
Which
is.
wouldn't be, which wouldn't,
now.
or I was going to say, which wouldn't be hard for me to do anyway.
Yeah, we have gotten back like where it's like Beelzebub and
It's
different
stuff,
names, and you know, I didn't think it really was that. It didn't feel powerful. It didn't, you know, it just was not. This is not.
It's
Beelzebub.
more
your body, Chris and Kristen, and Mistress B knows this. Your body will tell the tale. Your body will tell the tale. A lot of times human spirits will pretend to be something they are not. Christianity is everywhere. Even the dead knows about it. So of course they're going to use Satan or Beelzebub or Lucifer or 666 or any of that shit, you know, to scare people off. Of course. Why wouldn't they, you know?
right.
Tricksters, exactly. Tricksters. And I work with a lot of tricksters. I know their nature. I work with trickster spirits a lot. I know their nature.
Mama Cat also said, "Know Your Enemy," which happens to be a killer Rage Against the Machine song
Yes.
that Steve Auclair knows on guitar. I know because I used to play it with him back in the day. So yeah, love Rage Against the Machine. They're awesome. Let's see what we can do here. I'd like to show you what I set up. Let's see if I got enough of a charge. I'm gonna try to leave my phone connected here to my computer, so hopefully it keeps running. I did come into this with 56% battery, and I have a pretty good battery in this phone, but it did not survive. So I don't know if that's paranormal or just because I left it on.
StreamYard sucks your battery so fast.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's probably the StreamYard.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get it back in there. I'm going to allow it. Then I get to turn the mic off again.
There it is. Just bear with us a little bit, everyone, please. We've got quite the setup on our table here.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun.
It's for yeah.
Just copy it. Link. Here we go.
And Joanne Stewart says, so back when they said if you ran a record backwards, it was the devil that was a fad. That was a fad. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. Like Ozzy Osbourne and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he okay, so Ozzy, poor bastard, he bit the head off a bat one time. One time. And ever since then,
he got a lot out of the bat story, though.
Yeah.
You know,
he cannot live that shit down.
rabies shots. He got some like 20 shots in his his belly and all that from that. So
Thank God he didn't swallow her. We could have had coronavirus all that way long time ago.
the original coronavirus. It was Ozzy's fault.
Ozzy did that shit. That's where that shit came from, y'all. Ozzy did that.
Oh, that's wicked funny.
I'm gonna spread that shit on the internet, y'all.
All right, let's see what I can do here. Get the water bottle out of the way. This might be a little tricky, but we'll give it a go. Add to stream. All right, so this is what I've set up for us. That is my spirit box in the back. I have created. This is actually very old, or it's supposed to be. I got it on eBay. I'll be honest with you, but it's not a new skull, but I like it.
It's an artifact.
I created a sigil just for this event.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
so a little bit of one of my tools there. And we got a couple of candles. We got a few cat balls around. They're going to go off because obviously I'm moving them. But it'll be interesting to see. There are magnets around this. And there's the box. Oh, Jesus.
What do you need?
I need the mic to move.
Mike's not going to move anymore.
I moved it out of the way.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. There we go.
All right, I got it up.
Put this guy back here. And we're going to light our candles for a little bit of effect. I've got a black candle and a white candle.
Don't light the mic on fire.
Right? There's a little bit of a difference. Distance there. That would be horrible. Okay. Now let's try.
It's really close to the mic, so.
I see it.
Okay. It's really loud.
Mm-hmm. There you go. You should be able to hear that now. Laptop.
Oh,
Oh, and the lead light went up.
what the hell just happened?
The ring light went out. I didn't. It's over there. I don't know what happened.
Oh my God.
Well, it started out for the bang. That wasn't intentional, folks.
Oh, that was fun.
Perfect, it said. This is a Nanocom 2. This box is built by Katie Stafford, and he signed the back. It's only one of two that I know of. I know Greg Koss has the other one.
Where are you, Mr. Greg Koss?
It's cool. It's cool. So I'd like to see if anybody in the audience has a question for the ghost box.
There he is.
Please post it. And Ken and Mistress Bee, if you have some questions, we will ask them. I'll start. Is there anybody in this room with us? Any discarnate spirits?
How many?
I can make it up.
What are your names?
Oh, this back too. Can it say Lenny Kilmister? Because that would be pretty cool. Wilford. I hear a Wilford.
I heard that too.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Wilford, do you know any of our names? I heard that. It's a... No, huh? Usually they know.
Do you guys have any questions for him?
I'd love to know how they died.
How did you pass into the nether, Wilford? Sound a little like... No, still. I'm not sure. Some of this stuff becomes clear on playback.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Ask him, are you trapped here?
I'm fine.
I'm fine here.
If you're with us still, Wilford, you try to speak through this black box with a yellow light on it. We may be able to understand what you say. You could also play with the candles or knock around these little balls and that'll tell us you're here. Feel free to tell us a little bit about yourself. What brought you here, Wilford? Anne Marie Young says, Mr. Blake, I heard. Is it Mr. Blake here? What did you do? You have another box here, 15 meter. If you touch that, you can make the light turn from green to red.
Greg Haas wants to know, where did you come from?
Good question.
I'm going to try adjusting the box a little bit.
Oh. That's really loud.
Is anybody with us now that would like to speak? Tell us your name, please. Not too talkative, I'm afraid. How many of you are there, Greg Haas asks? Can you hold this for 1 sec?
Sure.
I'm going to try one more thing. I don't feel like the session's very active. So I'm going to try something. One of the ways I use sigils, Ken, and I'm sure you're familiar with this, both of you are, is to burn them.
Absolutely.
To release them. So
that's right.
Perhaps this is why it has not been as effective. I can see some evidence in there.
Now, burn it, release that energy. Yeah, for sure.
That's it. Let's see if we can get that. Burn, baby, burn.
I agree. I hear a lot too. I hear a lot going on. Yeah.
Some scary things, Steve says.
Steven's right. There's a lot going on.
Help if you want. Absolutely, Steve. We are recording this and we'll be playing it back. And a lot of times that is the case with the spirit box. So we do sessions and we think we have nothing, and we play back and go, oh my God. Or we got like EVPs before we turned on the box.
Yeah, that happens.
That's happened to us a few times. We got one of our best EVPs that way, setting up to do a spirit box session. There were actually two of them. One of them called me an asshole. That was pretty cool.
That was funny because he thought it was me, and he went, "Yep."
Yeah, it was loud enough where I actually heard it audibly, and he goes, "Asshole." Yeah, and I was like setting things up. I just literally said something. I was, in my own world. Before we end the session, do you have a message for us? If you do, please try to speak it through the radio.
The black box says, well, the fire alarm's going.
Do you like us? Do you like this room? I think it said weed.
No, you put that in.
In this room? That ain't sage, baby. One last shot. Can you name one of the four of us?
Yeah, Ian.
First name. Come on. You can do it. You got her beautiful. I do. You and Mr. Steve.
Did anyone else hear it say B? Because I heard it say B.
It could have been in there. I think I heard Ken. Oh, we're definitely playing this back. Debbie Wallace says she heard it. Anne recommends we open a window.
Yes, Sam.
Steve says, it's a girl's voice.
It's a lot of voices. That's me. Should be as well.
Debbie says it said B. Final messages for us? You got our name? Wizard? Where do we live?
Uh-oh.
What?
I heard my hometown in there. I
Yep.
heard it say Vernon.
Really?
Yeah.
I think y'all got a friend on the other side. Kristen here, please help us.
No, hold us.
Oh, please hold us. Oh. Sorry, yeah, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
And I think it froze. I can't. Oh, there it is. Back. Camera's getting weird. All right, Kristen in there. Huh? Camera is getting real funky. It keeps freezing. This is an iPhone. It never does that. But it is StreamYard.
The bloody light went off when we
Yeah, I think
started,
that was so weird. Do you have a message for Mistress Bee? Do you know Mistress Bee? Are you related to her in some way?
I heard B a lot though in there.
Yeah, I heard it too. I missed the first one, but I heard it afterwards. Greg Cost says, can we help you with anything? Lights, I think, was the answer to that. Steve says there's a whole conversation. Hello, all.
I don't know. I don't have a sister that I know of. I do have a dear friend that I lost many years ago, and so I'm wondering if this is her because she died in a very tragic way.
Oh. Can you please try to tell us your name again? College? Can you come closer to us? Come a little closer. This is, I think it's there. Now turn it off. Is actually what I heard.
I heard that.
Yeah, so you know what? With that, I think we will conclude that portion of the show.
So thank you very much for everyone, all the spirits.
Thank you,
Talking to us.
spirits. You cannot stay here. Yeah. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Can't stay here either. I've got too many people in my house as it is.
That's right. If I don't know you on some level, you gotta go. All right, let me pull it up.
Oh, it was fun. It was a test.
That's
of our
fun. I
brain
think there's
lot.
stuff in there.
Yeah, most definitely. These names have been just called that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. There was a lot going on in that.
Yeah. There's a lot of underlying stuff as well. I heard underneath the there's like two parts to it. I could hear it. So so many conversations at once.
And I gotta see what happened to that light.
Yeah.
Yes, please. And
Yeah,
our
I'd
new
be
toy broke.
interested.
Yeah,
I'd be interested to see what you guys hear in playback. That's my first time listening to an EVP, so I'm not very good at it.
a spirit box. Okay.
The light was still plugged in. I thought I had maybe kicked it out somehow, but it just turned itself off. So,
Okay.
there you go.
Interesting.
Plus our brand new toy that we had. You know, as Ken called it, the disco.
Yeah, that died too.
Yeah.
That died as soon
It
as we
is.
put that
It
on.
is new and it's rechargeable. I don't know what the battery life is on it. Apparently, it's an hour. Right? It's supposed to go for like 3 or 4 hours, but man, so much for that. Thanks, Amazon. Well, this is fun. Who do you guys got
Yeah.
coming up? When's your next show? What's going on?
So our next show is obviously not this Saturday, but next Saturday. I got a couple people that I'm juggling right now as far as guests are concerned. And usually I don't let Mistress Bee know a damn thing until the last minute.
Oh, that's so mean.
No, not until I have to make promo. And he doesn't even ask me, like, hey, do you want this person to be on the show? Or even if we're going on other shows, he doesn't ask me if I want to go on. He just says, this time, this person, go for it.
Oh my God. Wow.
But she's always there. You know, she's so reliable. You couldn't ask for a better co-host. It's a blessing, really.
Oh,
Absolutely.
you guys are awesome. There's a great
Yeah,
chemistry.
She always. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, there's a great chemistry
Yeah.
in the show. It really shows. It's a lot of fun to watch the two of you, play off each other. And we love the Wizard's Table.
Thanks.
Yeah,
we
she's
have a lot
always
of
got
fun
my
doing
back.
it. Of
Who
course,
is
I
your-
always
She's
got
always
your
got my
back.
back.
Who's your favorite interview
Hell
so
yeah,
far?
baby. Oh, wow.
I really
Gosh.
love interviewing Patty Negri because she has
Yeah.
so much wisdom and so much powerful, and she's such a bright, cheery personality that every time I talk to her, I feel like my spirit is lifted.
Yeah, Patty Negri is an amazing woman. She's so high energy. It's like, oh my God, I wish I could get that high. And she does it naturally. It's not chemical induced. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could have that kind of energy like her. And the woman is older than I am. I'm not saying she's an old woman. I'm just saying she's older than me. And she has a hell of a ton of energy. And it's amazing. It's phenomenal. It's so positive and so powerful.
That's wonderful.
Awesome.
It's
Who's your idea of a dream interview? Did you get to interview anybody?
Yeah, actually, we do.
I want Zach Baggins to come on so bad.
Yeah, we would interview the hell out of him for sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But honestly,
Yeah.
I think a live vampire would be cool as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, they're out there.
Yep.
they are. They are.
We may not know a few.
Yes.
Hey, we'll have to talk later. you know?
Yes. But,
Awesome.
well, this has been a wonderful show, and thank you for participating in this. And
Yeah, thank you
it's-
guys.
I mean,
Coming on
as
the
soon
Wizards
as-
Table's on 6:00. You're on Facebook and YouTube
And
And
Twitch.
and Twitch.
Twitch.
That's right. In fact, you got me to stream to Twitch tonight, and I'd like to thank all the
Yes.
Twitches out there and
Thank
Brandon
you.
for sharing our link. We really appreciate it, man. And thank you guys.
Proud of you.
A lot of people out there, and we have to keep doing that to Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch is blowing up, man. I mean, the paranormal community, you, me, Paranormal the Funhouse, so many others, ESP Paranormal, taking Twitch by storm, baby. It's like a movement. It's like a movement.
Cool.
Awesome. I love it.
Start doing that.
I love it. Now, I'd like to thank everybody that joined us tonight.
Yes.
I am Marie Young, Mama Cat, Mommy 2379, Greg Koss, Steve, of course, Debbie Wallace Hagen, all these Twitch folks that are new, come on back. We got shows on Thursdays and Saturdays, and do get out and check out the Wizard's Table.
Yes, please. And thank you everyone for participating in this. And we'll let you know when we go and
We'll play this
we'll
back,
play
and
it all back. We'll get it done for you.
we'll clip it and clip the
Put it
best
on
parts,
our
and
YouTube.
I
And
will.
don't forget, read your Bible, baby. Read your Bible. Read your Bible, baby.
That's
At
right.
Sunday school.
That's Sunday school, baby.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. We appreciate you.
You're very welcome.
A lot of
Thank
fun.
you for having us.
You're welcome.
And that's all the time we got for the Dark Horse Paranormal Podcast. We'll see you Saturday with Bigfoot and the Bunny. We'll be on 4 p.m. Eastern time,
Yeah.
and we'll catch you then. Till then,
Bye. Thanks a lot, guys.
stay safe. Take care. Thanks.